What's going on, guys? We're going to go over some Bitcoin news. We'll also look at a couple of the Bitcoin miners' charts. We are approaching golden crosses for some. Some have already flashed golden crosses recently, and this is all happening while we're approaching earnings season for them. But first off, Semler Scientific purchased 175 Bitcoin, launches a public Bitcoin dashboard, and they have now increased their Bitcoin holdings to 5,021 Bitcoin, with a $20 million purchase here, and they report a 31.3% Bitcoin yield year to date. Now this 5,021 Bitcoin is valued at $594 million. And so far they've spent $475 million on Bitcoin, bringing them an unrealized gain of nearly $119 million. And as said by Eric Semler, the chairman, we are witnessing the global monetization of Bitcoin as a superior form of money. The trend to adopt Bitcoin as a part of a corporate treasury is clearly accelerating. Semler Scientific is the second US public company to adopt the Bitcoin standard, and has been at the forefront of this movement. Now, as long as we see these Bitcoin yields a positive yield from the Bitcoin that they have been buying, more companies are very likely to follow suit. But once Bitcoin begins a bear market, once these companies start seeing that their yield is negative from the place that they bought Bitcoin from, we might see the rate of these companies announcing Bitcoin treasuries and the new companies getting in slowing down. Many are following suit because of this instant gain, it seems like, from other companies doing so. So it's kind of causing a snowball effect, a cascading effect, if you will. Now, Semler Scientific also mentioned this Bitcoin dashboard. And this is basically just going to show their information on Bitcoin, their Bitcoin yield, their Bitcoin gain metrics, their purchases, and their overall holdings. They also initiated an ATM in April 2025, allowing them to sell up to $500 million worth of their stock. This is dilutive. And as of July 23, so far, they have raised $194 million through this sale, meaning they've got around $300 million left. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Semler Scientific. They are reporting their earnings in early August. It does look like we're on our way to break the 50 MA. Hopefully we can see a fill of this gap down in the low 30s. I do think that would be a great time to potentially gain some exposure to SMLR stock, Semler Scientific. It's kind of like a mini MicroStrategy. This isn't the only company mentioning a Bitcoin purchase. We also have this Quantum Solutions company launching a Bitcoin treasury via their Hong Kong subsidiary GPT-PAL Studio, looking for a 3,000 Bitcoin reserve within 12 months. And I quote, "Per the announcement, the company views Bitcoin as a long-term strategic reserve instrument, and Quantum Solutions plans to pursue their 3,000 reserve target in stages depending on market conditions, capital availability, and the regulatory environment." And Francis Zhu, the CEO, says that in addition to accumulating Bitcoin, we intend to do so with institutional grade discipline. We are in advanced discussions with top-tier asset managers, sovereign wealth allocators, and fintech leaders to scale our treasury roadmap responsibly and rapidly. And this isn't the only Japanese company making moves on Bitcoin. It has followed the popular Metaplanet, which many people know the name of, which is the first publicly listed firm in Japan that adopted a Bitcoin strategy. But also earlier this week, Kitabo, an 80-year-old publicly listed Japanese company, announced plans to purchase 800 million yen, or about 5.6 million worth of Bitcoin for their reserve. And then we had Remix Point, I believe we talked about this one, raising 215 million to expand their Bitcoin treasury. And their CEO plans to be paid in Bitcoin as part of efforts to be on the same boat as shareholders. Now, I do want to bring up Bitcoin today. It's a bit sideways. It's been relatively sideways for a couple weeks now, which in my opinion is good. It's building up a base. The market is adjusting to this price, becoming normalized. $118,000. When we were in the 40s, in the 50s, in the 60s, did you guys foresee Bitcoin getting to 118,000 this cycle? Some of us did, but some believe that it was never going to happen. Some believe that 100,000 was going to become the resistance, and we were never going to break it, maybe until next cycle. But here we are. Now, like I said in a previous video, I'm watching this ascending trend line. I do think we're going to test it by the end of July. I want to see a bounce and see us break this 120,000 area, get a candle to close above the resistance. Otherwise, if we fail it, if we break under, if a candle closes under this support line, this trend line, we may fill this large candle and head towards about 112,000, previous resistance possibly flipping as support. Now, we do have news of Square beginning Bitcoin payments for sellers as their underlying stock joins the S&P 500. And on Wednesday, Block joined the S&P 500. And on Tuesday, Block's executive officer and head of business, Owen Jennings, said that Square is now onboarding customers for the new native Bitcoin acceptance experience. And by leveraging the Lightning Network, the Square point of sale app enables merchants to accept Bitcoin payments directly through their hardware for near instantaneous low-cost transactions. Now, Cash App has already been pretty much allowing users to buy, sell, trade Bitcoin, but this is more of a merchant thing. Another step in global adoption, another step in normalizing Bitcoin payments. I don't know who would want to buy things in Bitcoin, but maybe when the market seems a little frothy, you might be willing to, instead of just take profits on your Bitcoin, use it to purchase something you would otherwise use dollars for. Would you use something like this to pay merchants? Let me know down below. Now, I do want to remind you guys that earnings is approaching for the Bitcoin miners. Mara is the first to my knowledge that is going to be reporting. This is going to be on July 29, the end of the month here. Most of the others are reporting in early August. And looking at Mara, it is resting at its 200 MA. If this fails, it's likely we test the 50 MA. They are very close to a golden cross, and I do think we're going to see it. And one company that just posted a golden cross is CleanSpark. This recent up move has allowed the 50 to cross the 200 MA. This is known as a golden cross. It is very bullish. CleanSpark is going to be reporting early August, and they are expecting a profitable quarter, also record revenue. And I do expect most Bitcoin miners will see a profit for that quarter because of Bitcoin's performance. Their unrealized gain on their Bitcoin holdings will be rather large. Bitcoin started that quarter at about the 80,000s and ended over 100,000. So I do expect a very good quarter for that quarter for the Bitcoin miners, whereas the last one was mostly a loss because Bitcoin lost its gains during that quarter. Quarter one went from like the 90s down to the 70s if I'm not wrong, bringing the Bitcoin miners that hold Bitcoin to see an unrealized loss on their Bitcoin holdings, whereas this quarter they will see an unrealized gain. But let me know what you guys expect from the Bitcoin miners. Are they going to end the cycle with profitability? This upcoming earnings should be profitable, and the current quarter is also looking good. So this is a quarter the Bitcoin miners are reporting. Started in the 80s, ended up over 100,000. Good quarter. Last quarter was an unrealized loss. Bitcoin lost its gains, forcing the Bitcoin miners to post an unrealized loss. This should be basically polar opposite. They're going to be able to report an unrealized gain. This should give them a profitable quarter. Also, the price of Bitcoin and their cost to mine, many are profitable at this Bitcoin price. From just an operations standpoint, a cost to mine standpoint, ignoring unrealized gains and unrealized losses. Now looking at the third quarter, things are already shaping up to be good as well. We still have August and September to end this quarter in, but so far so good. It is looking like the Bitcoin miners may see some consistent profitability to end the cycle, meaning that they're not going to be burning cash like they did in Q1. But let me know what you guys think about the Bitcoin miners. Are they going to have an amazing end of the year, an amazing into the cycle, or are they going to underperform Bitcoin by the end? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.